Hello, Mr. Ranga. My name is Dina Nisa, and this is my assignment for the daily task. Part 1. Answer this question. Retell that audio using your own words. Audio 1. The story starts when a miller passed away. He bequeathed his 3 sons everything he owned, his mill to the oldest, his donkey to the middle son, and his cat to the youngest. The cat vowed that if the son got him some boots manufactured, he would prove to be a worthy and helpful companion. The youngest son initially believed that he had gotten the short straw with the cat. The cat started looking for Rabbit after he had some boots and a small bag he could wear. Puss in Boots brought the king a rabbit that he had caught, claiming it was a present from the cat's owner, the Lord Marquis of Carabas. Soon after, Puss in Boots caught up some partridge, which he delivered to the king and stated were a gift from the Lord Marquis of Carabas. This went on for several months. Then one day, Puss in Boots devised his grand scheme. He directed his master to watch at a specific spot in the river while waiting for the king's coach, which was accompanied by the princess. After concealing his master's garment beneath a boulder, Puss in Boots ran up in front of the carriage and requested assistance, alleging that his master, the Lord Marquis of Carabas, had been robbed and all of his clothes had been stolen. Recognizing the cat that had brought him so many gifts of exquisite food in the past, the king ordered the coach to stop and dispatch his servants to retrieve some garments for the cat's master. When the princess saw the handsome Lord Marquis of Carabas dressed in one of her father's finest sets of clothes, she was instantly enamored, and the king invited the Lord Marquis of Carabas to ride with them. Puss in Boots had warned the local farmers and mowers that if anyone inquired, they should say the land they worked on belonged to the Lord Marquis of Carabas. Otherwise, they would be chopped off like herbs. As the king traveled across the land in his coach, he stopped and spoke with some of the workers, who all told him that the land belonged to the Lord Marquis of Carabas. The scheme devised by Puss in Boots had been successful. When the king's coach arrived at the big castle, Puss in Boots informed him that the castle owner was the same person who owned all of the area they had passed through. Traveling ahead of the castle, Puss in Boots managed to go inside and speak with the castle owner, an ogre. The ogre, it was told, could transform himself into a variety of animals, and he instantly transformed himself into a lion to support his case. Puss in Boots was terrified by this, but as soon as the ogre regained his regular shape, he resolved to outwit him. "I understand you can also transform into a very little creature such as mouse," he said to the ogre. "However, I don't think this is conceivable." Offended by this statement and determined to demonstrate his ability, the ogre changed into a small mouse, and Puss in Boots quickly leaped on the mouse and devoured him. When the king's vehicle arrived at the castle, Puss in Boots welcomed the king and his attendants to the castle of the Lord Marquis of Carabas. The king was impressed to find the cat's master had this huge castle as well as all of the nearby estates, and they went in and visited the princess, clearly in love with the cat master, became engaged to the Lord Marquis of Carabas, and they married the same day. Puss in Boots became a lord, and they all lived happily ever after. Part 2. Answer this question. Create the note. Audio 2. The protagonist of the tale is a railroad agent named Mike Flannery, whose duties include managing animal traffic. 2 guinea pigs are delivered to the station one day. The owner objects, saying these are not guinea pigs but rather pet pigs, but Mike complies with protocol and charges the right fare for guinea pigs. As the conflict intensifies, Mike maintains that the categorization is obvious and quotes that the higher pig rate, a comical situation, results from the owner's refusal to pay the extra charge, though Mike's decision to keep the animal until the fare is paid because he is in charge of them, and he is confident that they will be collected shortly. The guinea pig population at the station explodes as the day progresses into 2 weeks, and they proliferate quickly. Mike is certain that the original fare must be paid despite the escalating turmoil and big population. He keeps asking his boss for help in the hope of they'll come up with a ridiculous answer. The pigs keep expanding as the story goes on, taxing the station resources and wreaking havoc. As a result, higher authorities start to pay attention to the problem. In the end, a special committee is formed to decide if these animals are guinea pigs or pigs. In the end, the board affirms the station agent's decision, determining that the animals are in fact pigs. However, by that point, the pig population had massively increased, overwhelming the station and its staff. Readers will laugh and consider the ridiculousness of bureaucratic entanglement as the story comes to a funny conclusion. Part 3. Make a note. Make a note for this story. Audio 3. The story shows the misconception and obstacle that introverts confront in a world that frequently promotes extrovert traits. While great leaders are often portrayed as charismatic and outgoing person, prominent men throughout history have defied this cliché. Introverts such as Rosa Parks, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Gandhi made great achievement despite their quiet temperament. Introverts, in contrast to extroverts, frequently prefer solitary activity and reflection. They may not crave the spotlight, but they are forced to perform when circumstances demand it. Their leadership is motivated by a feeling of duty and a desire to effect change, rather than a desire for attention or power. As leader, introverts values the ideas and contributions of others and create an environment that nurtures growth and collaboration. The story also emphasized that introversion extends beyond leadership roles to creative endeavors. Renowned individuals like J.K. Rowling, Charles Darwin, and Steve Wozniak are introverts who have excelled in their respective fields. It suggests that introverts thrive in introspective and contemplative settings, allowing them to generate innovative ideas and produce exceptional work. But because society frequently favors extrovert traits, introverts are often finding it difficult to fit in. Extrovert-friendly environments like workplaces and schools prioritize teamwork and group projects. This may make introvert people feel unworthy or unnoticed. Even though studies show that introverts frequently get better grades, teachers may mistakenly believe that extroverts are better students. In the workplace, open-plan office, team building exercise, and group brainstorming session can be overwhelming for introverts. Consequently, they may be passed over for leadership position, even though their cautious decision-making and risk aversion could bring valuable traits to such roles. The story concludes by advocating for a balanced approach that accommodates both extroverts and introverts. It suggests creating space in educational and professional setting where individuals can work independently where necessary and come together to share ideas and collaborate. By providing opportunities for solitude and introspection, as well as promoting teamwork, society can harness the strength of both personality types. In the face of future complicated challenge, the story encourages us to cherish and listen to both extroverts and introverts, appreciating the distinct perspective and contribution of each. It highlights the need of inclusivity and diversity in problem solving, recognizing that we will need all types of people to face the difficult issues that lie ahead.